Good morning, everybody. While continuing that Unit 8 controlling, we will do the controlling process today. Yesterday, I hope you recall in the evening whatever the topics we have done related to controlling, that are the meaning and basic concept of the controlling, importance, features of controlling. And yesterday, I just give you the brief introduction of the controlling process. So let's revise once again that what are the steps to be taken in controlling process. These are: number one, setting performance standard. Setting performance standards. The second one is it is our first step. I'll explain so many things related to this. First of all, we will arrange all the steps together, that we'll recall that brief introduction that I have given to you yesterday. Go for the next. The next is the second step, measurement of actual performance. Measurement actual performance. The next step is comparison of actual performance with standards. With standards. The next step is to be taken, taking corrective action. The next step is, that's it. So these are the basic steps that are to be considered in the controlling process. Now, as the first step is setting up of standards. So while setting up of standards, one thing keep in your mind that the standards should be like this, that must be achievable. The standard must be, we should be taken care while drafting the standards, that must be achievable. Moreover, it should be like that that can be measured. Only then we can make comparison. So now if we discuss the types of standards, these will be, the types of standards are: number one, the standards can be of quantitative in nature. It can be quantitative in nature. So these are known as quantitative standards. Quantitative standards are those standards which can be shown in the figures, like the 10 units are there, 100 meter is there, anything that can be 100 rupees there, 1000 rupees, whatever that can be measured in the quantity is known as quantitative standards. But if the standards cannot shown in the form of figures, like for example, increasing the morale of employee, measuring the morale of employee cannot be a quantitative measure. That is the qualitative. So all those measures which cannot be measured in the monetary terms, in the numbers, those are, but qualities, features can be elaborated with the help of these standards. So these are known as qualitative standards. Measurement of the actual performance. So these are the standards. Let's again recall what we have done. Yesterday we have discussed, first of all, while controlling, standards are to be settled first. And these standards should be or must be achievable and like this that can be measured so that we can make the comparison. So types of standards are two are there, quantitative standards and qualitative standards. Now, what are the basis of standards? Always keep in your mind whenever you are just considering the standards, you must just keep in your mind that the standards should be according to their functional areas. The standard should be according to their functional area. So if we say what are the main basis of standards, the main basis of standards are the standards can be measured on the basis of production. The standards can be measured on the basis of marketing. On the basis of production quantity. And second one is production quality. The third one is time. And the fourth one is cost. So in this way, the standards has the main basis. When you decide the standards, it can be the basis of the production quantity, quality of the production, time of the production, as well as the cost. So measurement of the actual performance. After settling down the business standards, whatever the standard performance are to be settled first. After that, the actual performance is to be measured. So whenever the actual performance is to be measured, it should be measured so correctly. You have to keep in mind that the work has been completed in time or not. And moreover, the figures in the work in progress also should be shown. So whenever the actual performance is to be done, what is to be kept in mind? That the work is completed or in progress. And moreover, you have to keep in your mind that the actual performance always like this, that is very quick to point out the deviation. Now, suppose now the first step you have taken, you measure the standards, then you measure the actual performance. Now it's time to compare the standards as well as actual performance. So whenever the comparison is made, the deviations find out. Deviation means the difference take place in actual and the standard performance. And you know, the most interesting fact, it is not compulsory that deviation will be in positive or anything else. The different types, like types of deviations. Number one, positive deviation can be there. Number two, Negative deviation can be there. Number 3, zero deviation can be there as well. See, what is the positive, negative, and zero deviation? Suppose if you may have the standard, if you have the standard that you have to produce 100 units and actually you produce 120 units. So what it will be? It will be the positive deviation. Like what I am saying, suppose you have the standard, to produce 100 units, but you produce 120 units. You produce 120 units. So those 20 units has the positive deviation. Opposite to it, if you have standard of preparation of 100 units, but you are able to produce 90 units, then in that case, the 10 units that you are preparing producing less, that is your negative deviation. But suppose if you have the standard of preparation of 100 unit and you produce the 100 unit as well, then it is known as the zero deviation. So these deviation that is taken place just due to compare the actual performance with the standards, that is known as the deviation. First one, it can be the positive deviation, it can be the negative deviation, it can be the zero deviation. So after doing this, after finding out the deviation, a corrective action should be there. So before the corrective action, one more step you can take, analysis of deviations. Means the business must analyze that why these deviation happens, and moreover, what are the deviation tolerance limit? What are the deviation tolerance limits? See, deviation tolerance limit, what it can be? Suppose you have the target of producing the 100 unit, but you produce 98 unit. 2 units are, that is up to the tolerance limit. But the gap of the 50 unit, 40 unit or 10 unit or something else is there. In that case, tolerance limit, it is more than the tolerance limit. So deviation tolerance limit can be measured with the help of these two concepts. One is principle of critical point control, and the second one is principle of management by exception. Let's discuss that what is the principle of critical point control. The critical point control refers to the concept of management which hold that instead of all the activities, management should focus on attainment only the important activities. In critical point control, we have to see whether the deviation is related to that certain important activity or it is not related to those activities that must be achieved by the business. If the principle of control, critical point control is covering, if the principle of critical point control is covering, it means the deviations are beyond the important activities, then that can be tolerated. It means that are in the tolerance limits. But if it is beyond the critical point control, means it is related to some important activities that are not to be achieved, it means that is in the outside the or beyond the deviation tolerance limit and must be a quick and strict action must be taken there. Next is that principle of management by exception. Management by exception refers to the organizational control, which holds that only significant deviations like exception should be brought to the top management attention. So in that case, if the case is like that, the management by exception is there. In that case, what is to be done? Proper attention to be taken care. Proper attention should be taken care. And the last step is taking the corrective action. The last step is taking the corrective action. So what is the corrective action is there? Whatever the deviations are there, what is their basic cause and how it is to be removed. Like suppose the defective material is there, in that case, the changing in the quality standard of the raw material. If the defective machinery is there, we should repair or change the machinery. If machinery is related to the old technology, it's obsolete, then also we should consider that machines should be changed. And if the process is defective, then the existing process should be changed. If the defective physical condition of the work are there, then we also should make the improvement in the conditions of our workplace. The condition of the workplace should be improved in order to do the work as per the standards. So I'm briefing once again what we have did today. We have done the complete controlling process in which we have to check that what are the standards first, what standards of the performance are to be settled, and these should be have some basis. It can be the quantitative as well as qualitative. After setting the standards, the actual performance should be measured. And after measuring the actual performance, the comparison between the actual performance and standard is to be done. If any deviation is there, it should be taken care and analyze whether these deviation in the tolerance limit, and it is following the principle of critical point control and principle of management by exception. I'm sorry, the word is wrong. It's exception. So after that, corrective action is to be taken. It is all about the controlling process that is very important from examination point of view. You must get the long question out of this topic. So prepare it so well. If you have any query, please feel free to ask. Now it's time for the query session.